background as an artist started in investigating the world and what systems you apply to investigate the world, and you set up a supposition in kind of a scientific way, and then you go at it, you know, as many different ways as you can. Then I went into documentary film and investigative radio. I'm really fascinated with this mixture of low craft, you know, women's craft, and a mixture of high mediums, you know, film, high technology and this low technology. And I saved this one small box of film, and I said, I'll do something with this. And a few weeks later I took the film and I began to just lay it out in this kind of reductionist line form. I was really interested in lines, and started stitching it. And it was a combination of this traditional women's craft, this low craft, and this high technology. And at that time I had a 2-year-old child, and I felt really caught between the worlds of coming from a sophisticated world of film to being very domestic, and this was kind of representational of that. So that was the beginning of that work. I pursued aesthetic, but this work really combines the film and traditional work, handwork. Where I'm at with my work right now is I've been investigating the institution of marriage. It came about as a personal problem of me not really understanding the institution. It was kind of my own, so I intellectualized it by investigating, reading about marriage globally and historically. I found the energy socially around marriage, around weddings, to be kind of fascinating, and since I never wore a wedding dress, I was a little bit intrigued. So I started collecting wedding dresses, feeling that the institution itself was deconstructing, the dress being a metaphor for the institution, and see what came out of that. First I just looked at the bones. I pulled it down to see what was there, and then I started thinking about what marriage and weddings are. They're containers, they're rooms, they're structures that we inhabit, and started constructing those out of the dresses. The tent is constructed out of parts of other dresses because I was feeling that marriage is the structure we inhabit everywhere we go, and I wanted something portable to represent that. Wherever you go, you bring your marriage with you. And so I wanted to construct a little A-frame tent, like a Boy Scout tent. You know, it's efficient, it's easy to put up, and yet it must be put up wherever. Sometimes marriage is pastoral, sometimes it's rocky, sometimes it's on shifting sand. It's something that I liked, that metaphor of it being something that's universally pragmatic. That's why we get married, and yet it also is a little bit tight institution to enter. So that tent's kind of little. The bottom of the tent is open because the bottom of a marriage is an open thing. You know, it's like you don't know what ground you're standing on. If it was closed in, it would feel kind of compact. You know, marriage is this compact little thing that you exist in, but it's really just this structure, this kind of loose blowing in the wind, you know, the winds of your emotion, and it gets set up wherever you go, you know. You set it up in an urban setting, you set it up in a park, you set it up in the middle of disputes, you set it up between families. And that ground where you set it up, you have to exist within that. You know, you have to exist within the structure of your marriage in these different environments. This is the wedding bowl. This is made out of metal and rabbit skins and deconstructed dresses. I was thinking about marriage as a container. A bowl is a container, and a bowl is really a symbol and an object, and where there's a bowl there's probably some level of domestic order. Someone's serving someone, or someone's nurturing themselves, or someone's preparing food. And a bowl is a form that's almost as old as men and women coming together. So there's something very universal about a bowl, just like there's something very universal about marriage or men and women coming together. Marriage is not a simple, clean structure. It's hammered together and it's screwed together. And I was interested in this surrealism play on hard and soft, and the objectification and fetishism around women. And these rabbit skins, to me, symbolize the earliest sort of container that we would have placed ourselves in as we were entering a union.